If you're wanting to create realistic feathers, this video is a great place to start. In this tutorial, we're going to break down how to draw a zebra finch using coloured pencils, focusing on how to build soft, realistic feather texture step by step. Rather than trying to tackle the entire bird at once, we'll work in small, manageable sections. This helps you to stay in control of your details and make the process feel much less overwhelming. We will have a look at gradually building up the colour, using different pencil strokes and techniques, and by the end of this tutorial, you have a better understanding of how to approach realistic feather subjects and more confidence in using coloured pencil for detailed wildlife art. If you'd like to give this piece a go in real time, the full lesson is available now on Patreon. The link will be in the description. One of my main tips when working with colour pencil, especially when you're dealing with a more complex subject, it's to break it down into smaller sections and focus on one area at a time. Instead of trying to tackle everything at once, zoom in on a single part of the drawing and build it up gradually. This helps prevent that overwhelming feeling you can get from a detailed subject, and it also allows you to develop the small details as you go rather than trying to force them in at the end. Working this way keeps your drawing more controlled, more accurate, and ultimately more realistic. To begin with, we complete the eye, making sure to work carefully around the white highlight areas and keep them nice and bright. Having a sharp point on your pencil really helps when you're getting into these small, precise details. Around the eye, we start by layering down a light yellow base layer, then using the tip of the pencil with a green gold tone, we begin adding in some of the fine feather details that sit around this area. Throughout the real-time tutorial, we go through how to put these little lines down, so making sure that you're spacing them out and doing them in the direction of the feathers. From there, we continue to build up these surrounding feathers using light yellows and oranges, working gradually from light to dark. As we layer, we use small directional strokes to suggest a natural flow of the feathers, adding those subtle lines that help create texture, depth, and a more realistic finish. When it comes to the surrounding black and white feathers on the back of the head, you want to start by building up your underlayers with the cold grey one, and then you want to make sure that you're going in with a really sharp, precise pencil to make these really little lines. Some of the sections you may even put down little dots in a row rather than doing a big stripe or a hard, heavy line. When it comes to the beak, again we're working on one section at a time, starting with the bottom before moving to the top. Take your time to really observe your reference photo and look closely at where the highlights and natural shine appears on the beak. These lighter areas are key to making it look smooth and realistic, so be careful to preserve them as you build your layers. To create that smooth, slightly gloss texture, you can gently blend your colours using the cool grey pencil. This helps to soften the transition between tones without losing detail. You can also go in with a white pencil in the brightest areas to enhance that shine and bring out the reflective surface on the beak. By layering gradually and blending carefully, you can see the natural rounded form come together. So the feature that gives the zebra finch its name, of course, are those beautiful stripes. But before we start adding any of those black markings, we first need to build up the base layers underneath. This is really important for creating depth and realism. In this area, we're looking at colours like cold grey 1, along with soft orange and subtle blue tones that sit beneath the darker markings. Once those base layers are in place, we can begin adding the stripes with our black pencil. Make sure your pencil is really sharp at this stage. This is where precision really matters. It also helps to keep rotating your pencil as you work, so you maintain a fine point and clean edges. Where the stripes are small and delicate, start by placing tiny dots or short marks close together, then gradually build them up, thickening and shaping them as you move around the bird and follow the natural flow of the pattern. This gradual approach helps keep the markings look natural, varied, and integral into the feathers rather than sitting on top of them. And again, if you feel like this is going too fast for you, on the Patreon tutorial we'll go into more detail about how I'm putting all of these marks down, and you can follow it along in real time. As we move down the bird, remember we're still completing one section at a time. Colour pencil is a really slow, intentional medium, and that's actually one of the biggest strengths. It gives you time to relax, be creative, and to really settle into the piece as it develops layer by layer. Try not to rush the process, instead focusing on each small section in its own little study, building it up gradually, observing what's happening in your reference, and let the drawing evolve at its own pace. So take your time, trust the layering, and don't feel like you have to do everything at once. Breaking it down into smaller sections will always make the process easier, more controlled, and ultimately more satisfying. Where we see the brown spotted section on the bird, we're going to use the negative space method. All this means that instead of drawing the spots directly, we're going to be leaving the white areas of the paper untouched and building around them. So we carefully preserve those light shapes and then use the burnt ochre pencil to outline and define the edges of the spots. Once those shapes are established, we can start to work back into the surrounding areas, gradually building up the tones around them. This helps the spot feel more natural and integrated into the feathers rather than sitting on top of the drawing. By using this approach, you get much cleaner highlights and more realistic sense of texture and depth within the pattern. For the lighter area on the bottom of the bird, we're not relying on white pencil alone. Instead, we're building up soft layers using blue, orange, and cold grey 1 to develop those subtle tones. We work these in gradually, blending everything down with the cold grey to keep the surface smooth and unified. This slow layering is what helps create the soft, natural transition rather than a flat or chalky finish. Once that base is established, we can start to introduce some darker tones to strengthen the contrast and bring more structure to the form. The bird feet can also be quite challenging, so the key here is to start with the darker shapes first, using a mid-tone like burnt ochre to map everything out. From there, you can deepen the shadows using dark sepia or walnut brown, building up the outline and form slowly. At the end, glaze over those base layers to pull everything together and create a more cohesive, realistic finish. But remember, if this feels like it's moving too quickly, there is a full real-time tutorial over on my Patreon. You'll get the liner, material list, reference photo, and everything you need to complete this piece step by step on your own. The link's in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.